A very young Cristiano Ronaldo takes a souvenir photo with one of his first awards standing with his mother. 1994. Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, 1994. Suffragist in two-piece suit, lifting the bottom of the jacket to show is not a skirt circa 1910. Ford T in a crate, just bolt on the wheels and install the windshield, New Zealand. Public punishment, Iran 1910. Photographers wearing gas masks, Utrecht, Netherlands 1937. United States Secretary of the Navy, Claude Swanson, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and United States Ambassador to Mexico Josephus Daniels aboard the heavy cruiser USS Indianapolis, CA-35, 1934. Gérard Depardieu. Janine Turner, Maggie O'Connell from Northern Exposure 1990s. Mixer advertisement 1960. A guard dog prevents a cow from escaping. 1968, United States. Restaurant Stockholm, 1940. German submariners with loot in the Russian Arctic, 1943. Military parade on July 19, 1919 in Dublin. Children play with a captured German 211mm heavy mortar on display in the Mall, London, United Kingdom, 1918. People carrying bakery products, Italy, 1951. Residents of the Czech town of as greet German troops occupation of Czechoslovakia, 1938. A German Junkers Jew, 52 transport aircraft burns at an airfield, March 1942. BMP on Lenin Avenue, Dushanbe, conflict in Dushanbe, February 14, 1990. The USS Yorktown passes through the Panama Canal, 1943. German soldiers with rats killed in the trenches, 1916. The Führer at the International Automobilausstellung, 1937, Berlin. The Berlin Motor Show was first organised in 1897 and ran until 1939. Experimental camouflage for the B-24 bomber, World War II. The tracked motorcycle by the French designer Le Haight was offered to the military in 1938 to 1939. The Le Haight motorcycle was designed for off-road and rugged terrain. A two-wheeled vehicle designed by P. A. Shalofsky on the streets of London, 1914, women's piano-shaped jewellery box, 1830s. Elephant hunting, Sri Lanka, 1880s. Winona Ryder, Jodie Foster and Julia Roberts, 1989. On July 12, 1929, the giant Dornier Duex flying boat took to the air for the first time. Riga, Latvian SSR, USSR, 1963. A view through one of the gun sights of the German heavy cruiser Admiral Hipper at the sinking British destroyer Glowworm, North Sea, April 8, 1940. Bombing of the Focke-Wulf plant, October 9, 1943. Bruce Lee takes part in a cha-cha-cha competition, Hong Kong, 1958. The first automobile in Los Angeles, United States, 1897. Beauty pageant contestants compete for the title of Miss Rheingold, 1956. The Best Hair Competition, Madrid, Spain, 1927. The Hindenburg airship over Rio de Janeiro, 1936. Theodore Roosevelt and his Rough Riders after the Battle for San Juan Heights, early July 1898. West Berliners waving to relatives over the Berlin Wall, Christmas Day, 1961. Monica Bellucci, a rising Italian fashion model in the 1980s. Nikita Khrushchev presented Fidel Castro with a new model of gas mask, Moscow, 1963. One of the original limousines in France in 1910. Navajo Shaman, 1904. Spartacad, Prague, 1980. General Motors Futureliner bus at the Parade of Progress, 1939. Al Pacino, possession of a concealed weapon, 1961. July 5th, 1968. Sweden. Device for recording working hours. Alfred Hitchcock, 1962. President Hoover with Department of Commerce, woodworking contest winners from each state, 1930. A wingwalker stands on one leg on the wing of a Curtiss Flying Jenny biplane in the air above New Jersey, 1920. View from the Empire State Building, 1947. Patricia Arquette is completely unfazed on the set of A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, 1987. Jean Cocteau, 1949. The Roaring Twenties on Wheels, Autopolo, 1911. The burning of a model of a Snickers chocolate bar as a symbol of the dominance of imported goods in Russian stores. 1995, Kemerovo. Mary Stuart Masterson and Johnny Depp, Benny and June, 1993. A German field bakery near Ypres, Belgium, 1914. American-Chinese protest scrap metal exports to Japan, 1939. Munich residents listened to a radio broadcast of Hitler's speech about the start of the war with Poland. Third Reich, September 1, 1939. Agatha Christie worked as a nurse in a hospital during World War I, 1914. the first French mission to Antarctica in 1904. Tram for Dangerous Areas, United States, 1920s. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Prisoner of War Birds, 1919, United States. A cage of pigeons used by the Germans to carry messages at a parade commemorating the first anniversary of the armistice. The prototype of the safest car presented at the 1958 World's Fair. The two-piece body was designed to absorb impacts in a collision. Trained Dogs, Paris, 1930s. The result of a lost bet on the outcome of the 1948 United States presidential election. Model Pat Blake for Vogue magazine in 1950. The failed launch of the first American satellite, 1957, United States. The largest crowd ever recorded at a concert was at Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, with approximately 3.5 million people gathered there to celebrate the New Year of 1994. A resilient private believed to be Benjamin Franklin's namesake of the Minnesota Cavalry, who lost all 4 limbs to frostbite. United States, 1865. Alistair Simmers Scrooge in the classic film adaptation of Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol, 1951. Harry Houdini entertains a crowd in Vancouver, March 1st, 1923. Carrying a disabled person, Old Mexico, 1898. Kids and Marbles, 1963. Town Square in Welsen, Lower Saxony, Germany during the Battle of the Rhine, April 1945 and 2021. A 41-year-old Winston Churchill commanding the 6th Royal Scots Fusiliers, 1916 after resigning from the government. Queen Victoria and her family, including Nicholas II, at their wedding in Coburg, Germany, 1894. Cindy Crawford attends the Love Ball benefit on May 10, 1989 at Roseland Ballroom in New York City. American actress Eva Gaber, 1953. Harold Alzana balancing a bicycle with a woman on his shoulders during a performance in 1950. The Camel billboard, designed by Douglas Lee, blew a 5-foot smoke ring every 5 seconds. United States, New York, Claridge Hotel in Times Square, 1941 to 1966. Music video jukebox, 1967. Princess Diana meeting Roger Rabbit. Animal trainer Margarita Nazarova with a tiger on the Neva embankment, December 1965. The Lusitania on her first arrival in New York City in 1911. The Uslona Beer Bar in Prague, Austria, Hungary, 1908. Chamberlain, Daladier, Hitler, Mussolini, and Ciano, just before signing the Munich Agreement, hailed at the time for preventing war, September 30th, 1938. Military parade on the first anniversary of the capitulation of Polish troops in the September campaign. Warsaw, General Government, Third Reich, October 6th, 1940. Queen of Madagascar and Avalona, circa 1890. A Strange Accident, 1930. Burning Biosphere, Montreal, 1976. Argentinian police and army personnel returned fire against MTP rebels during the attempted takeover of the La Tablada barracks, Argentina, 1989. Bill Clinton giving a speech, 1980. Kwakiutl Indians dance around a smoking fire, attempting to force the celestial entity that swallowed the moon to vomit it out. Lunar eclipse of November 13, 1914. American sailors line up to enter a Japanese comfort house brothel, 1945. Mount Lowe Railway in San Gabriel Mountains, California, 1893. Her Imperial Majesty Empress Alexandra Fyodorovna addressed as Tsarina Maria Ilyinichna, 1903, album of the costume ball at the Winter Palace. Native Americans looking at photographic film, 1913. A Soviet boat uses water cannons against a Chinese fisherman on the Ussuri River in May 1969. Navy Lieutenant Robert Stack teaches Lana Turner how to salute October 1944. Françoise Hardy in a gold dress with diamonds, accompanied by a security guard, 1968. French evacuation vehicle for the wounded, 1915. These pilots of the Transport Auxiliary Service are among the first ever females to be allowed into the British Royal Air Force, 1940. Winston Churchill, far right, as a prisoner of war of the Boer Republic days before his escape, November 1899. Chang, the Chinese giant with his wife and manager, 1871. Brigitte Bardot. A Paiute Indian in northern Arizona circa 1871 to 1874. Dancer of the Red Army, Song and Dance Ensemble, 1963. Princess Zinaida Nikolaevna Yusupova, in the costume of a 17th century boyar, 1903. Album of a costume ball at the Winter Palace. The explosion of the transport USS Mount Hood in Sidler Harbour, New Guinea, 1944. It was carrying approximately 4,000 tons of ammunition. Fraternization between German and Russian soldiers, World War I, 1918. Madonna and Tupac at a party in New York City. The Queen of Pop and Tupac dated briefly in 1994. In this photo, the couple chats with Raquel Welch at a party in New York City. In 1968, for the first time in history, the Olympic flame was lit by a woman, Mexican runner Keita Basilios. Marilyn Monroe and Marlon Brando, 1955. Charlie Chaplin with Mahatma Gandhi. Bookmobile, a mobile library in the Bronx, 1950s. White House defenders at the barricades, Soviet Union, 1993. This is Father Paul Carpenter apparently trying to set the world record for highest baby toss. Albert Einstein in 1893. transporting sick people to polling stations during the German parliamentary elections 1932. Once again, the NSDAP, led by him, became the largest party in parliament. Soviet cosmonaut dogs, Mishka and Chisik, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, 1951. Wehrmacht soldiers training to fire at aircraft with an MG-34 machine gun, 1942. Parisian fashion designer Louis Erard, the creator of the bikini, 1946, France. Candice Bergen poses with her dog, 1968. Al Capone playing the banjo, 1930s. Ruth St. Dennis, dancer, choreographer and First Lady of American Dance, 1906.